Hi again folks, well what have I got here? This is a Bachmann class G2A locomotive and it's an 080, so I've not seen one of these before, so this could be interesting. This was sent to me by Peter and he said that it runs but could do with a service, but it also has a bad wobble on the front wheels. So let's give this a run and see what it does. Turn on the power, goes away fine. So that seems to run fine, but yeah, there is a wobble in the front wheels. It's not too noticeable in the body, but if you look closely at the front axles, we'll see it closer when I get to the bench. Yeah, it's quite a bad wobble. So let's pack this into the shed and we'll get to the bench and see what's what. Alrighty then, let's get a look at this. This has been weathered. I'm not a fan of weathering, but it's covered in what looks like pigeon droppings. I think that's been deliberate. I asked Peter about it and he said it was done years ago, so we won't go into the paintwork on this. Let's see if we can just figure out why this front axle is wobbling. Just looking underneath here, so there's 4 wires going to the tender and those wheels pick up, as do those ones and those ones. So these wheels do not pick up and do not have flanges on them, thankfully. Do these wheels pick up? They don't appear to. So I'm assuming there must be a chip or something in the tender. Okie dokie, let's put a battery on this and maybe you'll see just how badly this front wheel wobble is. It's pretty bad. So I think there's nothing for it. We're going to have to get this out. We'll give it a bit of a clean and an oil, but we'll see what's going on with this. I don't like wobbles. They're usually easy enough to sort though. It's usually just either the wheel's been put on at a slight angle and you can correct it, or the plastic bush on the insulated side is not very good. But that, it's like, it's not the wheels, it's the whole axle that's rocking back and forward. So I don't like the look of it. This has got the brake rods on it, which appear to be glued at the front here. Oh, jings. Right, we'll get the sponge. So we've got a screw at the back there and 2 screws at the front. And 3 screws on the underframe. So this screw here probably holds the chassis onto the body, or the body onto the chassis, whichever you prefer. But I think it also holds the drawbar in place. I think I'm going to have to take these brake rods off. I know the glue's broken, so that's a bonus. What about this side? Yeah. Right, okay, can I get these brake rods off? Because they're just going to get in the way. To be very gentle with these, so easily broken. I think that's metal, so I can't bend them apart. It's one of these things that probably pushed in easy enough, but trying to get it out again. Right, I wonder if that just lets me in here. We don't need to take the brake rods off entirely. Right, so I'll get that screw out. And can I get this one out? Yep, 3 completely different screws. And remember how they go back. Okay, does this lift out? The drawbar goes through the body, and I can't get it out, I don't think. There we go. Blimey. So we have a bunch of resistors and capacitors on there. And there's a little circuit board at the back there. So I have no idea what all that is, but I'm assuming there's a circuit board in the tender. I don't know, and to be honest, I don't really want to know. So I'm not going to take the motor out or anything. The gears are all very dry, so we'll give them a squish out with some cleaner and put some fresh grease in there. You can see all the gears in there. But what is causing the wobble? So I'm going to have to remove this underframe. Put this back in here just now. Right, I've got a screw here, and a screw there, and one here. Please let me get this out. Just. Can I get this out? Must be connected to wire somewhere. Oh no, it isn't. Drop the screw there. Alright, okay. So there's contacts there that make contact with these bits there. So there's no wire going from the pickups as such. That's not a bad idea. Now then, what's the deal here? I really wish I could get rid of this. There, got it. There we are. Right, that's better. Now then, there's an awful lot of play in that front axle. So the axle's 3mm and the recess in the block there is 3.6. I'm just wondering if there's any slight quartering issue. I don't think so. This rod here is a wee bit bent, but I wouldn't have thought that would make that much difference. Give it a wee bend back though. Right, okay. Squish that out, and squish it out here as well. And we'll get some oil on the motor bearings. Yeah, you can see there, look. There's just far too much movement in there. Right. Let's lift that out. See if this will fit. It's too big. What about this one? Yeah, that fits in there nice. But will the axle go through? I think it probably will. That axle is 2.9 or 3mm, and this tubing might be a bit tight. Might just fit. It might just fit. That'd be good. And what we'll have to do is pull the wheel off, pull one wheel off, and see if we can fit that brass rod over it. These appear to have plastic bushes on both sides, so it should pull quite easily. Right, this puller isn't really the right puller for the job, but there we go. Nice as ninepence out it comes. And of course we've got a plastic bush there. which doesn't want to come off, but it's going to have to come off. Come on, off you come. There you go. Right, does that fit into that brass tube? Yes, it does. Perfectly. Right, this is going to be worth a go, I think. I'm just going to scratch it. Just cut this piece of brass tube off. Okay, so one little piece of brass tubing. I've cleaned up the end, so let's slot it into here. That, and then that should slide through, and hopefully that'll act as a nice bushing. So all I do, I'll put a wee bit of oil on the axle. Maybe we shall pop that through there, and then we'll connect up that rod to there. And then we need to fit the wheel on the other side, making sure that it's quartered correctly. Plastic bushing back into the wheel, like so, and then I need to fit this so it's perfectly in line with the other wheels. So, fit the underframe again. Okay. Right, okay, moment of truth. Get this on. Does it wobble? No, it doesn't. Hee, problem solved. A little bit of brass tubing and away you go. So that's the first time I've ever bushed an axle with a bit of brass tubing. I did try to do it once before with my Flying Scotsman, but the brass tubing wouldn't quite fit, or if you get a brass tubing that would fit, the axle wouldn't fit inside it, and I just gave up. But the brass tubing fitted in that perfectly, and that's working fine now. That's all it was, just too much play. Right, we'll get some grease into this, and then we'll get it put back together, and that'll be that. Give the wheels a clean, I suppose. So lots of lovely grease on the worm gear, and we'll get a wee touch in there. Just mop up some of that excess, and we'll just work that in. Right, get this back together. Bachmann's stupid drawbar design. Okay, wheels. So, yeah, they're a wee bit dirty, but not too bad. The middle wheels on the tender here are absolutely filthy. So, I'll try a wee bit of teacup first of all. These are absolutely caked in something. Look at that. I think that's paint or something that's got onto it when it was being weathered. But it's coming off okay. There we go. They're not too dirty anyway, so that'll do them. Finally, we will refit these brake rods. Always a fiddly job. I think these are especially fiddly. The one at the front, it's in there, and that one had been glued. But you know what, it'll be fine. Okay, so there we go. That's this Bachmann G2A OOBill locomotive serviced, and the front wheel wobble sorted. So let's go and pull this out the shed and see how it goes round the layout now. Okay then, let's bring it out. So there we go, that's Peter's G2A, or Super D as I believe it's also known, sorted and running nice as ninepence now. It's very smooth. This is a really nice locomotive actually. I think I'll look out for one of these. So yeah, that front axle simply had far too much play, in all directions. That was just causing it to wobble about all over the place. Luckily I had some brass tubing that fitted into the chassis, and it was also a perfect fit for the axle, and that sorted it. I guess if this has been run a lot, that the metal in the chassis is probably worn a bit, but I wouldn't be at all surprised if it wobbled when it was new, to be honest. Bushed axles are always better. But that's it sorted, cleaned and lubricated, so I'll get it packed up and sent back to Peter. Right, catch you later folks.